The Ukrainian military said on Tuesday the previous 24 hours had been the deadliest of the war so far for Russian troops since Moscow launched its invasion almost a year ago. Ukraine increased its running tally of Russian military dead by 1,030 overnight. Reuters has been unable to verify that report, and Russia has also claimed to have killed large numbers of Ukrainian troops in recent weeks. Tallies of enemy casualties from either side are often seen as unreliable. But Kyiv's assertion that the fighting was the deadliest so far fits descriptions from both sides of an escalating campaign of intense warfare. Here, Ukrainian soldiers in the Donetsk region are seen operating this Soviet-era Grad rocket system. The battle in the east comes amid reports of disorganization in Kyiv. President Volodymyr Zelensky in recent weeks dismissed several senior officials in moves seen as an effort to show Western allies he would take on corruption and prove himself a reliable steward for billions of dollars in desperately needed military aid. On Sunday, a politician from Zelensky's party said Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov would be replaced. A day later, the same politician said no changes would be made this week. Zelensky did not comment, but on Tuesday called for an end to, quote, rumors or any other pseudo-information, which he said could undermine unity in war. Whatever Reznikov's fate, he was seen welcoming his German counterpart in Kyiv on Tuesday. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius made the surprise trip a day after his government's Security Council approved the delivery of 178 Leopard 1 tanks to Ukraine. That decision comes atop Germany's choice last month to deliver the more modern Leopard 2 tanks to Kyiv. Reznikov tweeted a picture of him and Pistorius posing with a scale model Leopard tank, writing, quote, "The first Leopard 2 has arrived in Kyiv."
Minister, welcome.
Pistorius also met with Zelensky. The Ukrainian leader said recent promises of heavy weapons from Europe and the United States could give Kyiv, quote, parity, but not an advantage on the battlefield.
New graves as far as the eye can see. 500 soldiers who've died in the war with Russia have been laid to rest here in Kharkiv Cemetery. It's the funeral of this woman's husband, Vitaly Lavrushkin, a 50-year-old artilleryman who was killed on the Bakhmut front line. His daughter, mother and friends must also say goodbye.
Why do we have this war happening in the 21st century? I don't understand. Our men are dying. What have they done to deserve this?
The future of our country is dying with each man killed. I can't describe my emotions. It's so hard.
6 soldiers are being buried today. Some of the deceased in this graveyard are very young, and many of them were killed in the particularly deadly fighting in Bakhmut. Every day, these soldiers on the front line rub shoulders with death. The Russian position is 400 meters away, in those trees. The fighters prefer not to talk about their fallen brothers.
Emotions have no place here. This is war. Of course, there's more fear than adrenaline. But what's most important is to keep yourself together and stay strong.
Ukrainian authorities say they've lost around 13,000 soldiers since Russia invaded, a figure which is impossible to verify. This commander, for instance, refuses to say how many people have died in his battalion.
It pains me to think about it. It gives me uncontrollable emotions. It disgusts me and makes me a monster, hungry for revenge.